The Bible. And the Catechism. In a year. Day 253. From the Book of Job. Bildad speaks, how can a mortal be righteous before God? Then Bildad the Shuhite answered. Dominion and fear are with God. He makes peace in his high heaven. Is there any number to his armies? Upon whom does his light not arise? How then can man be righteous before God? How can he who is born of woman be clean? Behold, even the moon is not bright, and the stars are not clean in his sight. How much less man, who is a maggot, and the son of man, who is a worm? Job replies, God's majesty is unsearchable. Then Job answered, how you have helped him who has no power. How you have saved the arm that has no strength. How you have counseled him who has no wisdom, and plentifully declared sound knowledge. With whose help have you uttered words, and whose spirit has come forth from you? The shades below tremble, the waters and their inhabitants. Sheol is naked before God, and Abaddon has no covering. He stretches out the north over the void, and hangs the earth upon nothing. He binds up the waters in his thick clouds, and the cloud is not rent under them. He covers the face of the moon, and spreads over it his cloud. He has described a circle upon the face of the waters, at the boundary between light and darkness. The pillars of heaven tremble, and are astounded at his rebuke. By his power he stilled the sea. By his understanding he smote Rahab. By his wind the heavens were made fair. His hand pierced the fleeing serpent. Lo, these are but the outskirts of his ways. And how small a whisper do we hear of him? But the thunder of his power who can understand? Job maintains his integrity. And Job again took up his discourse, and said, as God lives, who has taken away my right, and the Almighty, who has made my soul bitter. As long as my breath is in me, and the Spirit of God is in my nostrils, my lips will not speak falsehood, and my tongue will not utter deceit. Far be it from me to say that you are right. Till I die I will not put away my integrity from me. I hold fast my righteousness, and will not let it go. My heart does not reproach me for any of my days. Let my enemy be as the wicked, and let him that rises up against me be as the unrighteous. For what is the hope of the godless when God cuts him off? When God takes away his life? Will God hear his cry when trouble comes upon him? Will he take delight in the Almighty? Will he call upon God at all times? I will teach you concerning the hand of God. What is with the Almighty I will not conceal. Behold, all of you have seen it yourselves. Why then have you become altogether vain? This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage which oppressors receive from the Almighty. If his children are multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring have not enough to eat. Those who survive him the pestilence buries, and their widows make no lamentation. Though he heap up silver like dust, and pile up clothing like clay, he may pile it up, but the just will wear it, and the innocent will divide the silver. The house which he builds is like a spider's web, like a booth which a watchman makes. He goes to bed rich, but will do so no more. He opens his eyes, and his wealth is gone. Terrors overtake him like a flood. In the night a whirlwind carries him off. The east wind lifts him up and he is gone. It sweeps him out of his place. It hurls at him without pity. He flees from its power in headlong flight. It claps its hands at him, and hisses at him from its place. Interlude, where wisdom is found. Surely there is a mine for silver, and a place for gold which they refine. Iron is taken out of the earth, and copper is smelted from the ore. Men put an end to darkness, and search out to the farthest bound. The ore in gloom and deep darkness. They open shafts in a valley away from where men live. They are forgotten by travelers. They hang afar from men, they swing to and fro. As for the earth, out of it comes bread. But underneath it is turned up as by fire. Its stones are the place of sapphires. And it has dust of gold. That path no bird of prey knows. And the falcon's eye has not seen it. The proud beasts have not trodden it. The lion has not passed over it. Man puts his hand to the flinty rock. And overturns mountains by the roots. He cuts out channels in the rocks. And his eye sees every precious thing. He binds up the streams so that they do not trickle. And the thing that is hid he brings forth to light. But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man does not know the way to it. And it is not found in the land of the living. The deep says, it is not in me. And the sea says, it is not with me. It cannot be gotten for gold. And silver cannot be weighed as its price. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir. In precious onyx or sapphire. Gold and glass cannot equal it. Nor can it be exchanged for jewels of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or of crystal. The price of wisdom is above pearls. The topaz of Ethiopia cannot compare with it. Nor can it be valued in pure gold. Whence then comes wisdom? And where is the place of understanding? It is hid from the eyes of all living. And concealed from the birds of the air. Abaddon and death say, we have heard a rumor of it with our ears. God understands the way to it. And he knows its place. For he looks to the ends of the earth. And sees everything under the heavens. When he gave to the wind its weight. And meted out the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain. And a way for the lightning of the thunder. Then he saw it and declared it. He established it, and searched it out. And he said to man, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. From the Book of Wisdom. The work of wisdom from Adam to Moses. Wisdom protected the first-formed father of the world. When he alone had been created. She delivered him from his transgression. And gave him strength to rule all things. But when an unrighteous man departed from her in his anger. He perished because in rage he slew his brother. When the earth was flooded because of him, wisdom again saved it. Steering the righteous man by a paltry piece of wood. Wisdom also, when the nations in wicked agreement had been confounded. Recognized the righteous man and preserved him blameless before God. And kept him strong in the face of his compassion for his child. Wisdom rescued a righteous man when the ungodly were perishing. He escaped the fire that descended on the 5 cities. Evidence of their wickedness still remains. A continually smoking wasteland. Plants bearing fruit that does not ripen. And a pillar of salt standing as a monument to an unbelieving soul. For because they passed wisdom by, they not only were hindered from recognizing the good, but also left for mankind a reminder of their folly. So that their failures could never go unnoticed. Wisdom rescued from troubles those who served her. When a righteous man fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him on straight paths. She showed him the kingdom of God. And gave him knowledge of angels. She prospered him in his labors. And increased the fruit of his toil. When his oppressors were covetous, she stood by him and made him rich. She protected him from his enemies. And kept him safe from those who lay in wait for him. In his arduous contest she gave him the victory. So that he might learn that godliness is more powerful than anything. From the Gospel of Luke. The parable of the widow and the unjust judge. And he told them a parable, to the effect that they ought always to pray and not lose heart. He said, in a certain city there was a judge who neither feared God nor regarded man, and there was a widow in that city who kept coming to him and saying, vindicate me against my adversary. For a while he refused, but afterward he said to himself, though I neither fear God nor regard man, yet because this widow bothers me, I will vindicate her, or she will wear me out by her continual coming. And the Lord said, hear what the unrighteous judge says. And will not God vindicate his elect, who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long over them? I tell you, he will vindicate them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? The parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. He also told this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week, I give tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other, for every one who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exalted. Jesus blesses little children. Now they were bringing even infants to him that he might touch them, and when the disciples saw it, they rebuked them. But Jesus called them to him, saying, Let the children come to me, and do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of God. Truly, I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like a child shall not enter it. From the Catechism. The proliferation of sin. Sin creates a proclivity to sin, it engenders vice by repetition of the same acts. This results in perverse inclinations which cloud conscience and corrupt the concrete judgment of good and evil. Thus sin tends to reproduce itself and reinforce itself, but it cannot destroy the moral sense at its root. Vices can be classified according to the virtues they oppose, or also be linked to the capital sins which Christian experience has distinguished, following St. John Cassian and St. Gregory the Great. They are called capital because they engender other sins, other vices. They are pride, avarice, envy, wrath, lust, gluttony, and sloth or acedia. The catechetical tradition also recalls that there are sins that cry to heaven: the blood of Abel, the sin of the Sodomites, the cry of the people oppressed in Egypt, the cry of the foreigner, the widow, and the orphan, injustice to the wage earner. Sin is a personal act. Moreover, we have a responsibility for the sins committed by others when we cooperate in them, by participating directly and voluntarily in them, by ordering, advising, praising, or approving them, by not disclosing or not hindering them when we have an obligation to do so, by protecting evildoers. Thus sin makes men accomplices of one another and causes concupiscence, violence, and injustice to reign among them. Sins give rise to social situations and institutions that are contrary to the divine goodness. Structures of sin are the expression and effect of personal sins. They lead their victims to do evil in their turn. In an analogous sense, they constitute a social sin. In brief, God has consigned all men to disobedience, that he may have mercy upon all. Sin is an utterance, a deed, or a desire contrary to the eternal law. It is an offense against God. It rises up against God in a disobedience contrary to the obedience of Christ. Sin is an act contrary to reason. It wounds man's nature and injures human solidarity. The root of all sins lies in man's heart. The kinds and the gravity of sins are determined principally by their objects. To choose deliberately, that is, both knowing it and willing it, something gravely contrary to the divine law and to the ultimate end of man is to commit a mortal sin. This destroys in us the charity without which eternal beatitude is impossible. Unrepented, it brings eternal death. Venial sin constitutes a moral disorder that is reparable by charity, which it allows to subsist in us. The repetition of sins, even venial ones, engenders vices, among which are the capital sins.